In this video, we will talk about Mark Zuckerberg business's net worth.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take that stack of sources you have and, well, we pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge for you. Today, we're jumping into a really fascinating deep dive. We're looking at the colossal world of Mark Zuckerberg's wealth and the tech empire he built, Meta. We've been sifting through quite a bit, articles, financial reports, strategic analyses, all detailing, where his fortune came from and the, frankly, incredibly strategic moves that shaped Meta Platforms, Inc. So our mission for you today, it's really to unpack the incredible scale, the scale of his influence, his wealth, but also the mechanisms behind it all. From that social media dominance we all know to the very ambitious, sometimes controversial push into the metaverse. Prepare for, I think, some surprising insights and hopefully a clear understanding of what really makes this tech giant tick.
It is a truly compelling story. Ambition, technology, foresight, it's all in there, isn't it? Yeah. What really jumps out immediately, looking across our sources, is just the sheer breadth, the depth of Meta's reach, and how tightly that reach is intertwined with Zuckerberg's own personal financial standing. We'll definitely be exploring how his role, co-founder, chairman, CEO, isn't just a title. It's the absolute bedrock of a fortune that has very few parallels in history. And of course, how the company itself became this formidable powerhouse we see today.
Okay, right, let's try and unpack this then. Many people, probably you listening included, still associate the name Meta primarily with, well, Facebook, the original platform.
Sure, that's the foundation.
But our sources, they detail how that whole corporate restructuring into Meta Platforms, Inc., that was way more than just slapping on a new name, right?
Oh, absolutely. Much more than a simple rebrand. It was a formal recognition, really.
Recognition that the company was now a proper tech conglomerate, distinct from just Facebook.
Exactly. And specifically, it was designed to signal a profound strategic pivot, a new direction.
So for someone maybe not tracking all these corporate moves day to day, what is Meta today? In its full expansive form.
Well, what's fascinating here is how Meta evolved, how it became this sprawling tech giant. It was through this strategic blend of relentless organic growth, just building things out, and some incredibly shrewd major acquisitions. It's really not just one platform anymore. It's an entire digital ecosystem, a whole family almost of interconnected services. And these services have fundamentally changed how people, well, billions of people communicate and share globally. This evolution, from a dorm room idea to this vast multi-billion user tech conglomerate.
Yeah.
It's honestly a masterclass in strategic expansion and capturing the market.
And what an ecosystem. I mean, the portfolio is incredible. It touches so many parts of our digital lives. For you, the listener, it's really key to grasp the strategic genius behind this scale. You've got the social media behemoths, the household names, Facebook itself, still a massive global community hub.
Still huge, yeah.
Then Instagram, which, looking back, they bought for what seems like a modest sum in 2012. It totally redefined visual sharing, captured a younger audience.
A game-changing acquisition.
Totally. And now, more recently, Threads, carving out its own space in that public conversation arena. But the network goes way beyond just social feeds, doesn't it?
Right. You have the messaging powerhouses, too.
Exactly. WhatsApp snapped up in 2014. Now it's like the global standard for private chat for billions.
Yeah.
Billions.
An incredible number.
And Messenger, which is so deeply tied into the Facebook experience itself, our sources make it crystal clear. These platforms, together, are used by billions of people worldwide. That number is just staggering. It shows an almost unparalleled reach into, well, human connectivity.
And this brings us straight to a crucial point, the company's financial engine. How does it actually sustain such a massive operation? These platforms, all of them collectively, they are the main source of Meta's revenue, and that revenue comes primarily, overwhelmingly, from advertising.
It's because they have all those eyeballs, all that engagement.
Yeah, precisely. The sources we looked at really emphasize this. Because you have billions of users engaged daily, Meta has this unparalleled ability to offer advertisers access to vast, diverse, and incredibly targeted audiences.
To some pretty sophisticated tech, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely. Sophisticated data analytics, AI-driven ad delivery systems, all optimizing for user engagement on one side and advertiser return on investment on the other. This model connecting users, content, and advertisers, it's an incredibly lucrative engine. It underpins the entire company. It's really a testament to the power of network effects. That idea where the value shoots up the more users you have.
Right. The more people on Facebook or Instagram, the more valuable it is to be there.
Exactly. And they leverage data strategically within this digital economy. It creates this powerful advertising moat, almost impenetrable, that competitors find incredibly hard to replicate. Honestly, it makes Meta's ad tech engine one of the most powerful on the planet.
So, okay, understanding that sheer scale, the ad engine, the global footprint that naturally brings us to the person right at the top, our sources then shine a spotlight on Mark Zuckerberg himself, his net worth. It's a figure that really does make you pause.
It does.
It reflects this concentration of economic power that's possible, maybe only possible, in the modern tech era. It's not just a big number. It signifies a unique kind of influence. So what are the key drivers? How did he amass such a, well, staggering personal fortune?
Indeed. And if we connect it back to the bigger picture, his direct role, co-founder, chairman, CEO, that translates directly into his personal wealth, it's quite straightforward in that sense. His vision, his often tenacious leadership that guided the company from literally a dorm room project to this global titan.
And the numbers reflect that journey.
They certainly do. The sources we reviewed suggest that as of late 2025, his net worth is estimated somewhere north of $200 billion.
Wow, $200 billion.
Yeah. Which places him firmly among the world's richest individuals. But what's particularly insightful from the sources is how his control of the company is cemented. It's not just his leadership roles.
Their share structure.
Exactly. He holds a significant portion of Meta's Class B shares, and those carry enhanced voting rights, much more power per share. This structure gives him substantial, almost decisive control over strategic decisions. It lets him align the company's trajectory with his own long-term vision.
So the wealth and the control are deeply linked.
Directly linked. This unprecedented wealth is a direct reflection of Meta's huge global footprint and its financial success. It really illustrates how leadership in a dominant tech company, combined with a controlling stake like that, can lead to truly staggering personal fortunes. And that fortune, in turn, impacts the broader economy through investment, through philanthropy, like the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative.
Right, the CZI. They aim to use billions of that wealth for advancing human potential, promoting equality, things like that.
Correct. So the influence extends beyond just the company itself.
That is a staggering figure, $200 billion. A real testament to vision meeting execution on a global scale. But then, the sources shift. They focus on a particularly audacious move. One that could redefine Meta's entire future. Zuckerberg isn't just sitting back counting the ad revenue from social media. He's been steering Meta really heavily towards the metaverse. Now, from a practical view, what are the inherent risks here, moving so aggressively into what's still a pretty unproven space?
Yeah.
And what makes him seem so confident in this long-term bet?
Yeah, that raises a really important question about future vision, doesn't it? Where does Meta see the next big wave of digital interaction coming from? This move into the metaverse, it signifies a massive, probably multi-decade investment in virtual and augmented reality, VR and AR. And our sources suggest this isn't just, hedging bets or simple diversification. It feels more like a calculated, very high-stakes attempt to preemptively build the next internet platform.
Like trying to own the next mobile before it happens?
Sort of, yeah. Zuckerberg's confidence, you see it in his public statements, his shareholder letters. It seems to stem from a core belief. A belief that immersive computing, VR, AR, will eventually become the dominant way people interact digitally, just like mobile took over from desktop.
And he wants Meta to be building the foundations this time, not just renting space on Apple's or Google's platform.
Precisely. It's about control, future-proofing. The pivot also seems aimed at mitigating some of the increasing pressures, regulatory, competitive, on their current social media empire.
Okay, that makes sense. Diversify and reduce dependency.
Exactly. By building the metaverse, the hope is Meta can define that next generation of digital interaction, ensuring its relevance for decades. And to do this, they're pouring truly significant resources into their Reality Labs division. That's the heart of this whole initiative.
That includes Oculus, right? The VR headset company they bought years ago.
Yes. Crucially, it includes foundational acquisitions like Oculus VR. That's been central to their hardware strategy, like with the Quest headsets. And look, these aren't just side projects. Reality Labs has been operating at a significant loss. The reports mention billions of dollars annually.
Billions in losses year after year.
Yes, which underscores the sheer scale of the R&D investment required. This isn't some minor diversification, it's a fundamental strategic direction. They're aiming to shape the next era of digital interaction, moving beyond the flat screens of our phones and computers into these immersive, persistent virtual spaces.
That level of investment, carrying those kinds of losses in one division, It really highlights the sheer gamble they're making, doesn't
It's
it?
a huge gamble.
It makes you wonder, how does a company built on sort of serendipitous social connections now plan to engineer this entirely new form of digital reality? What are some of the big technological hurdles they still face in actually making this vision real? And how does it fundamentally change Meta's business model if they succeed?
Well, the technological hurdles are immense. Our sources cite them constantly as the primary challenge. It's a massive undertaking. We're talking breakthroughs needed in so many areas. High-fidelity graphics that don't make you feel sick. Haptic feedback for realistic touch sensations.
Feeling things in VR.
Exactly.
Right.
Real-time AI processing for natural conversations with avatars, understanding environments, plus big improvements needed in battery life and just the comfort, the form factor of wearable devices. Nobody wants a heavy brick strapped to their face all day.
Right. Needs to be seamless, easy.
And then there's the software side. Building these interoperable, persistent virtual worlds requires entirely new software architectures.
Yeah.
It is genuinely a moonshot project.
And the business model, if this moonshot lands.
If it lands, well, it signifies a long-term play that could fundamentally redefine how Meta generates value. It could mean shifting away or at least supplementing the purely ad-based revenue model, moving towards a blend.
A blend involving what? Selling things in the metaverse?
Potentially, yes. Think digital goods, virtual real estate, maybe digital fashion for your avatar. Services and experiences within these virtual worlds, tools for remote work in VR, virtual concert venues, educational experiences. The possibilities are broad.
So diversifying the revenue streams finally.
Diversifying, yes. But the initial investment and the time horizon for actually seeing profitability are just vast. It makes it one of the costliest gambles in tech history, but also potentially one of the most transformative if they pull it off.
Wow. Okay, what a journey we've covered today. We've seen how Mark Zuckerberg's immense wealth flows directly from leading Meta Platforms, Inc. This tech giant built on the back of wildly successful social media messaging platforms, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Threads reaching billions, generating colossal ad revenue.
A truly global scale.
And then we explored this incredibly bold strategic pivot, investing so heavily in the metaverse through Reality Labs, through acquisitions like Oculus VR. It signals a future potentially beyond traditional social media, a really high-stakes bet on building that next foundational platform for how we all interact digitally.
It really does highlight how this landscape, technology, and wealth is just constantly evolving, driven by, well, unprecedented scale and sometimes incredibly audacious vision. The story of Meta and Zuckerberg, it's a testament to the power of those network effects we talked about and strategic expansion in the digital age. Capturing billions of users, building an empire on connectivity and advertising, but it's also clearly about the ongoing pursuit of that next frontier, the next way humans connect and interact, even if it means years, maybe decades, of huge investment with really uncertain returns. And it leaves us, and you listening, with a provocative thought perhaps. As companies like Meta keep redefining how we live, how we work, how we connect through their established social platforms and these ambitious new ventures like the metaverse, what does that actually mean? What does it mean for the future of individual wealth and for the global economy when so much power, so much value is tied up in these digital ecosystems? Ecosystems shaped by the vision of just a few key leaders who are quite literally trying to build the next version of the internet. What are the implications of that concentration of power, of technological direction for us, the users, and maybe for society as a whole?
Absolutely. Something profound there for you to ponder. Long after this deep dive finishes, we really hope you feel a little more well-informed, maybe ready to connect some new dots in this rapidly evolving world of tech and its most influential figures. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.